Now let me ask you a question, an honest question as MCs. Sakodi, aka Nasty C, MT, what's called MT? MT. Gwe. There's so many Damado Bling from Damado Bling. Then there's this other girl who was dating aka Ice Prince. Where are we on this African totem pole? Where do we lie? Are we closer to the top or what do you know and see under the ground?
We're the underdog.
Lights, camera, action, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy GNL Zamba, and this is unusual because for the very, very first time here at Baboon Forest, we have the pleasure to host Uganda's finest lyricists, Uganda's OGs, triple OGs. We have people who are inventors, innovators of styles, and we're so excited to be here discussing a topic which we are all passionate about. On my extreme right is a man who has nurtured and ignited my career, Shadrach Nasakutesa, CEO of Vine Entertainment, former Platinum Entertainment. Yava mu byensi kati musajja mulokole atambuza njiri ya Katonda, but also working with us to make sure that the good work goes forward. We're happy to have you here, Shadrach.
Happy to be here, man.
And yeah, man, yeah, for real. Yeah. Last time we saw you, the beard was not grey.
So
time has been
it's great, man. Exactly.
time has been good. And then we have the Triple OG, GMC Entertainment, Mr. Live from Mr. Africa, Mr. Narudi, the man with the most hip-hop albums. I'm coming for that record. The man
I see you on the road. I see you coming.
Hey, I'm coming for that record. But it's very, very inspiring that even when you feel like you're slacking, you're like, but Lyrical G puts out an album nearly every year. It's inspiring to artists like us as well. To say LG has been doing it for so long, still passionate about the culture, it's still going, why should I stop? Tugenda kubuuza how you do that, but we are so happy to have you in the building.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here again.
Yes,
this is like the third time we're featuring on the same podcast in the same building.
Yeah,
so
man, it's amazing.
It's always fun when we get together. And
we always call you back because it's fun having you.
By all means. I see the numbers going up each and every time. The numbers for me. For me, I see the numbers.
Some of your numbers.
That's why I'm always here.
Of the crew, yeah. Thank you so much, Sabo.
Nice.
And then we have the man who comes from the only place in Uganda or in the world with mountain gorillas. He's not part of the Batwa, but he's really close to the Batwa. The Batwas are his cousins. From southwestern Uganda, the man who has conquered Chigezi, Chisoro, Mbarara, the whole empire ya Nyungu ya Mawe. Yona ya Nyungu ya Mawe ngabo yali in its vastness. From the western rift of the Rift Valley, the man called Tibro, Chigaflo. Kavale, Chakampala. We're happy to have you in the building.
I'm honored as well.
Yes.
Podcast here, Baboon Forest Entertainment.
Yes.
So I'm glad to be here and share about the Batwa relation with me.
Yes, but before we go forward, first read for us this one. Do you think 100 men or 100 rappers can beat a gorilla?
100 rappers?
Yeah, like physically.
Maybe 20,000 rappers. even 1,000 rappers can't try even.
They can't try one gorilla. Kali. Now that video has been solved for the whole of the internet, from the man who comes from the place where they come from. And then on my left, I have the Omutapta, Mr. Stories of Elevation, a fellow storyteller. Mr. St. Nelly said, agamba nti okwegatta, unity, gemanyi. Thank you for coming through.
It's a pleasure.
Yes. 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 End of the week representative. Yeah, man. Thank you for coming through. And then another one who needs no introduction is the queen herself. She says Kampala guys got wallets as big as pine sellers. There's no telling what this fella guy might sell us. Overzealous. The lyrics were there. Like if you don't respect that, your whole perspective is whack. If you don't respect that, your whole perspective is whack. Maybe you love her when she fades to what?
To black.
When she fades to black. Your lyric, your little down.
What more can I say?
No, yours was how we do it. Yeah. But if you can't
what more can I say?
Your whole perspective is work. That was Jay-Z. He was like, I've done everything good for you. Yeah. If you can't respect this greatness, your whole perspective is work. We're happy to have you here, Queen Keiko.
Keiko.
Representing the East.
Tororo, what's up? Stand up.
Rock City.
Rock City.
Rock City. Yeah, so guys, where do we start? We have like a very, very big opportunity here because we rarely chill in the same room the way we are chilling here to have conversations without baby mamas calling us when we are live on air. Yenze Hip Hop Festival is the reason, I think, main reason why we are here, right? What do you think about the Yenze Hip Hop Festival? It's happening this Saturday. What do you guys think about festivals or hip hop festivals? Having end of the week, you've done some international festivals as well. Yeah. You've seen them come, you've seen them go. T-Bro has performed with us touring all over UG. Let me start with Shadrach. What do you think about hip hop festivals in Uganda?
I mean, I think it's a good opportunity to showcase the talent, but also to unify the culture. For me, the last event I did as me was Hip Hop Canvas. And this was 2005.
Yes.
The first one, 2005, then 2006. Other than that, I haven't been part of another festival. And actually, when this was happening, they reached out to me as like, you know what, I think this is a good opportunity. First of all, for me, it's kind of like a family reunion. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's been years, I haven't been part of the hip hop, setting of the world, since it's like over like 10 years.
Yeah.
So for me, I think this was a very good opportunity. Already, it's a good opportunity for me to come and connect with my people. Already, bring us together. There's unity, there's celebration of the culture, It brings, as I said, brings oneness, And again, it elevates also the craft. Because now, actually, I never noticed how much like hip hop has somehow grown. It's grown. Yes. Till when I started making calls to say, okay, last time I was it was GNL, it was Nabio. And it was Keiko, pretty much.
Yes.
And again, first I went till like 2010 when we did Hip Hop Canvas 2010, and then the election said came through. SPM Gunjule, all those guys.
Rule Smalls.
Rule Smalls, Yes. Then I realized when I was trying to say, okay, who are going to be performing at the event, I'm like, oh my God, now there's Fig, and now there's Rachel Ray. Oh, of course, now remember there was Baboom, now everyone has gone, like Munji, now it's Munji as Munji, and also has like a lot of songs as Munji.
Yes.
G, you have a lot of songs as G. Keiko has his hits. Senel said, as like, oh my God, actually for the first time, not even, you can't say in the long time, for the first time,
yes,
we're going to have all these MCs, on one platform, on the same stage for the first time. So I think that's a bit about it. Yeah.
There's definitely growth. And see, from your perspective, you've seen when there was little. I mean, there was like a few albums here and there, but not like this many.
Exactly. And I can even envision the performances. Like when everyone's gonna come on their set and people are gonna have certain songs they really relate with, and quite a number of them. Another one comes on, they do another full set. Another one comes on, so it's like, oh my God, it's gonna be quite a number of hours, not just even minutes of great performances.
Yes.
So yeah.
It's amazing to see. Lyrical G, what do you think?
I feel like, just to add to what you said, because you pretty much described and explained what this whole thing is about. The oneness, togetherness, and then like when we're all together. Like look at us here, there's strength in numbers. Yes. So you imagine what's going to happen when you have everyone in the cricket oval the day after tomorrow. You imagine like the strength in numbers and everyone showing up and saluting and celebrating the culture. This is, for us, this is like, it's more than just culture even. This is our roots. This is where we came from.
Yes.
If it wasn't for hip hop, some of us would never have been known in this country or in this world. So I feel like he has pretty much described it and defined it, and I just can't wait. Hip hop has come a long way, and we just look forward to more growth and more, whatever success and.
And maybe to add on again. First of all, the venue alone.
Yeah, the venue itself. For the first time. Cricket Oval.
So I think that's something to celebrate.
Yeah.
Very, very powerful, yeah.
And it's a first of its kind.
True,
Yeah,
true.
you know,
First of its
because
kind,
we
like a
haven't
festival.
had a festival like that before.
Yeah.
And I hope it's not just gonna be a one-off, and
Yeah.
hopefully it's something we do yearly. Yeah.
I had somebody say before we go there, what was your first memory? What was your first hip hop festival you ever went for?
First hip hop festival.
Mm.
Well, we used to have the summits. Definitely, the summits put us together, brought us together, and
Yeah.
introduced us to each other.
Yes.
That's when we got to know who was coming up, who was out there, blah blah blah. But the first one, the one they put together in 2005, where we recorded a whole album.
That was huge. Yeah.
So when we did the album, for instance, the compilation, and you had everyone coming to audition and then come together.
So you guys mean to tell me that since 2005, there hasn't been another moment like this?
There's been events. There's been events. We can't take anything away from the people who have tried to maintain. Baba has had his
Baba has the big global. Baba has the big global gathering.
Yes, we have the EODAB
end of
the week. That one came in and then she's going strong. Then we have Hip Hop Festival.
Abraham's has
the breakdance project. Breakdance project.
No,
Uganda.
there's something it's called. It's called
Hip Hop for community, for society.
Yeah.
That's when the break dancers come together with
that's for.
But I've never been invited to any of those.
And then,
I think you were away.
But
you were away when these things were going.
When had hip hop against poverty.
Because we were at the Yenze press conference, and I realized that Abrams was saying they have been running a festival for like the last 10 years.
They've always, the thing was annual, and they've been calling us to most of these gigs.
That must be Hip Hop for Society and Breakfast Jam.
Breakfast Jam.
Yeah.
Still, I will maintain I've never been invited.
No, so
I've been away from
people like
You've not been around.
You have people like what? You have people like Flex the Paper Man. He maintained with that hip hop. I remember when the lockdown was on, man.
Yeah.
The guy put us together.
But
And we had to pre-record a show.
Yeah.
We had to pre-record a show in the daytime that was going to air. A little later on, and that was a good thing, bringing people together during the lockdown. So imagine if all these events hadn't happened, even during the lockdown, where would hip hop be? Also, we have the awards; they keep coming up, and they bring people.
Those awards for a group, they're not like really for.
You think so?
Yeah.
I feel like it's another way to network and get together. Sometimes it's not even going to just receive an award. It's about also going to meet your peers that you haven't seen in a long time, and
But I was saying, hearing from hip hop circles, and I was just looking at a video this morning with Klansman. Klansman had some issues to say about those awards.
And also, coming from the side of
sitting room.
On the gospel side, there's something called Fuse.
Yes.
Because also, I felt when I crossed to gospel, I organized the first all Christian hip hop concert.
Yes.
It's called Fuse.
Yes.
So it's all like hip hop,
Where does it happen?
Where?
What does it happen? I've seen.
We had different venues. The first one was
Are you going to go to?
No, I feel like no. Listen,
Yeah.
listen. He says now he's here.
Yeah.
Because I always had.
The first one was a square. It was a small one at the square.
Yes.
Then we did another one at MTN.
Yes.
MTN area, but MTN space. Yeah,
the space.
Yeah.
Ah.
Another was happening on 4th.
Yeah. So tell us about end of the week, because you've just concluded that. What was that process like? Seeing end of the week has also been around for a decade now, a decade plus, right? So how have you seen hip hop grow through the end of the week platform?
First things first, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank people thinking about hip hop. Yeah, platforms like Yenze, man, we should embrace this. I always tell people that even if you're not going to be part of the stage, even if you're not performing, you should just come through and support. It's not about performing. It's not about the mic every time, because people like us, we just attend events as long as it's hip hop. Yeah, just even your showing up makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because at the end of the day, if we don't support each other, tetuja kola sense. That's what I always tell people. For end of the week, this time around, we hosted the World Finals, which was really, really dope. and the stage was colorful, the production, everything was really dope. The performances, LG killed it, yeah, Charlie Chikola sense. But I'm happy. But I'm happy for the fact that at least I organized something that has never been like that colorful before in the history of End of the Week. Yeah,
yes.
We've been doing the world finals. We've been doing this and that. So many countries have been hosting, but we've never had something that really defined international when it comes to production. Yeah, it was really massive, and I gave a challenge to any other country hosting the world finals.
You should learn that. You should give me the production.
Yeah.
No, you had a very the stage was on point, man. You had
Okay,
like
but
levels
like
to
I
the
can
stage.
see,
Kaka
man.
was there. She can
so
that. It
Be
was very nice, man.
careful. Some kid from Qatar might answer the challenge.
whole
Yeah, I think
The way he
Canada.
did it, man. The way he did it.
It
the
was so
drums and
beautiful.
everything, the introduction. And
Yeah.
the platform,
Yeah,
and
the
then
setup was nice.
The setup,
Yes,
the
yes.
DJ said, and it was-
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Good
it's
stuff.
but it's not about the production. It's not about the looks. It's not about the stage. It's all about bringing something that can really put hip hop like in the present in like a limelight.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, for us, we talk, me personally, I talk 2010, 2011, 2012, yeah. But during that time, we had so many platforms, man, here. I'm the person who is always into the community, nbeera nnyo mu slums, nbeera nnyo mu ghettos. But twalinanga obuntu bungi obutambula, Galaxy Dance Project, simanyi buno buki, hip hop for this, hip hop for that. Like
Yes.
each and every community had something happening.
Yes.
Yeah, even here in town, National Theatre nga tulina bonfire. Simanyi bichinga waliwo
Yes, I've been invited to
Ebintu
bonfire.
byali
I've been to
bingi.
bonfire.
Yeah,
couple of times.
okitegeera. But the thing is, man, right now tewaliwo kiriwo kisobola kuleeta muntu atandika kirisobola leeta like omwana omuto atandika okubeera nga at least ajja n'akubamu oba najja na getting inspired, yeah. N'agamba waliwo wabeerawo ba poets, waliwo wabeerawo baki, wano waliwo ba storytellers, bagayi bajja ne bakuba rap.
Yes.
But bw'otunuulira ekintu nze ne bw'ogamba nti yenze egendanga kubeerawo every after 5 years as long as ngegenda
As long as there's something.
okitegeera.
From what I understand, Yenze is going to be there annually. Annually. And Joe, you mentioned something about opportunities for people to grow.
Yes.
All of us here, I think, came through platforms where someone gave an opportunity for us to grow.
Okitegeera.
So either hip hop canvas,
Hip hop canvas.
whether it was I don't know, but these guys, the summit, the hip hop summit, nayo. So someone has always laid a platform for others to grow,
Yes.
and I think it's a thing we do as rappers to pay something forward.
Exactly.
I need to ask my brother here from Chigezi, Chakabale. We talk about Kampala a lot, and Kampala is a focal point for so many people, but we know from touring that there are rappers all over Uganda. In your experience seeing Kasese, Kabale, Chigezi, Kanungu, all those other places, what's hip-hop like in Western Uganda?
Greetings to everybody watching. My name is Tibor, like I was introduced. In Chigezi, strictly we do Chiga Flow music. And like I introduced Chiga Flow, it was just a sister to hip-hop. So the activations of hip-hop were just following as brothers. We were activating for you guys. Because for us, Chiga Flow was our brand to represent our region. So when I felt unrepresented, when I would see Sylvester and Abrams do something, I hear LG do something, I hear Questo do something, then I felt, I'm not hearing anybody do something like from the West. So when I tried out, yes, we didn't get our flowers immediately because I didn't get first appreciated in our place because our place is for gospel artists. Or everyone is a gospel artist where I come from. But when I started rap, I first looked like a gangster because initially I would do gangster rapping. And then not until we did, there's a project we did with Swangs, and then people knew that even if you're rapping, you can deliver the message out there. So when I delivered, then...
What project was that?
The Be a Man project.
Maybe a man, yeah.
That Be a Man you were on, and some other
Lumix.
Lumix, yeah.
Oh, it was called Be a Man?
Yes.
And it's a true man. It's a true manhood. Okay.
So be a man, true
But
manhood.
that wasn't Swangs, that was Phenon. That's why I was confused. That was
And
Phenon.
Because Benon was behind it,
I think Benon
Benon
was still
produced
with
it, I think. Benon was still working.
Kati our songs nali maniti beno nengeri respect mugumbi amanyi kati go kuba kasimu I thought you so I thought go ali
Actually,
behind.
now I see it. I think it was Benon,
Yeah.
and then Steve Jean did the video.
Yeah.
It's some I remember that.
They were
yeah.
together. So as in do some like speeding up this whole story. Chigezi there was no rap. Kasese there was no rap because in Kasese, like now I'm staying in Kasese, there was a man called Chance Kahindo who was doing culture music, Renzori culture music. In Kabale there was a man who would act in Chigezi Jinimba actors called Tugume. He would do this kind of instrument. That was it's called Ndabaho. So it was like my inspiration. I would see him do his kind of thing.
But
I'm
let
like,
me challenge you. When you said there was no hip hop, yet when we are defining indigenous hip hop,
Yeah.
when we're defining indigenous hip hop, we always, my mind in the West rushes to a tradition called Kwivuga,
Kwivuga.
which is hip hop in its own right, though it is not on a beat.
okay, you can relate to Kwevugas
Yes.
being hip hop because when I was discovering Chiga Flow, I would pick some of the lines from the Bevugo. But Kwevuga is our culture on campfire talk. For when you're trying to teach to the young ones, tell what's gonna happen on a good day, on a real day. But it wasn't strictly that they're rapping. No. It's our culture. Like that's how they meet and greet, and one starts with a chevugo, and then they'll reach
Like koi koi.
then they'll rush to a topic.
Yes. So for me, in mostly the way that I look at African culture and where I draw the lines of hip hop, beginning to trace where hip hop comes from in Africa.
Yeah.
You're still looking at it as it's just our tradition. We just do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have this name. It's a quiv.
Because everybody, where I
for
come
me,
from,
I look
wherever.
at that. I look at a Chikwate. I look at a Chitontome. The same way you have Yobi Fugo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, these people were already rapping and having poetry in what they were doing.
Yeah.
The only thing missing is a beat, and we package it and call it hip hop. But that's already hip hop.
And that one I believe,
sense.
because if you say Bievugo was the rap, then everyone at my place can rap. Because everyone
can rap, right?
everyone can. So everyone can rap.
Yes.
So as in defining as in Chiga Flow,
Yes.
it was a sister relation because I related from the Bongo, the Luga, those who were starting up, and those who were rapping in English.
Yeah.
So I had to come in as in to fit in what was taking place by then.
So no time to syndicate gangster.
When I took you to syndicate gangster, already Nadine they say you going to the urban base like you're saying. But
Yes.
I was not trying to do the Bevugo. No, I was not in Kanta Levuga. I would just recite like one line from a Chevugo and I build buzz. But not Bevuga. So Chiga Flow is like a bone. Twazalibwa mu byevugo. Nazalibwa mu byevugo.
So now you see, for me who does traditional, I don't do traditional hip hop, but for me who draws most of my inspiration from hip hop, from like traditional customs or fireplaces, that's where I get most of my inspiration from. Koi, I just go back to a fireplace. I'm like the fireplace university, and all my inspiration, whenever I'm lacking inspiration, I think about going back to that place and why it was useful in terms of cramming them, like carrying the tradition forward. I have a question for Keko.
Yeah.
Now we are at Yenze. Yenze is going to be at Cricket Oval. Ochidaba.
First time performing there.
Yeah, first time performing at Cricket Oval?
Yeah.
Wow, okay, that's another one. There's so many fasts for Yenze and for all of us. But the question I wanted to ask you about is that one of the highest peaks of hip hop Uganda, right? One of the highest moments we've ever had was when you lifted the whole country basically and took it to a height. So many people will not recognize that or give you the flowers.
Thank you.
But one of, if not the highest peak of hip hop Uganda, it has been Keko Channel O Award coming home with a win. Not just I was there, but came home with a win. You get me? And that was a very proud moment for all of us, right? And I can't say nobody is going to do that, but at least it's a bar that nobody has like yet beaten.
Set the bar real high.
You say, yeah, you said the bar real high. When organization for water calls you for a festival, but you did it on your own. It's like it's not like it's a tabatia. There's you doing a project which is international, right?
Yeah.
But you're called there because they're having masse on you as Africans. They must feel a spot. Like, we need someone from Africa to come. You can call so and so to come. But when enable connections, go it out. But as you going to Germany and you're there as an MC on end of the week, there's you going to South Africa and you're there basically on the merit of Nakuba verse. People gravitated with that verse and my style, and here is the award to show for it. That moment, chief the on your MC skill.
It's actually quite surreal, yeah.
So what's that like, and what can we do to get there or get even do bigger?
I actually honestly don't know how to repeat that.
Yeah.
I did with Make You Dance. I got nominated again for it in 2012.
Yes.
And I went back to Channel O for the awards show.
Yeah.
I didn't win that time, but actually the people I was working with then at Sony were like, who did they give it to? That was the best song out of East Africa.
Yeah.
You know, it was really a weird moment. But it was surreal, you know, having to go there as a young artist. I think I was just excited to just be there, you know. You just watch this stuff on television, you know. Acceptance speech, you know, MTV base, MTV.
Did you think you'd win? Did you expect when you were going?
A little bit, I thought. But do you know we beat Kigeu Geu?
Yeah, I know.
We beat Jaguar.
You nominated alongside the major figures.
Yeah, we beat
Kare.
Kale is what's it? Kale is
P unit. Yeah.
Wow. Wow,
They have bigger numbers actually, even as a nation.
That was a moment,
even as the culture of hip hop,
and they vote
much bigger.
And they have a culture of voting, not like Ugandans who don't vote.
Support and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you might find that actually people who might have voted for your song might not even have been Ugandans. They might have been South Africans.
Absolutely, it was actually crazy.
South Africans, Tanzanians, Kenyans. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. Because when I was accepting the award, they were all yelling. And they are South Africans. I'm
yes.
I guess that's where they got the idea. The Sony guys
when you
got the idea.
were younger, you kind of looked South African in a way. They could have placed you among their own.
That song spoke for her.
That one is ours. That's ours.
Yeah, wow.
Man. Yeah.
We went there, we did the thing, and after that, you get addicted to it.
Yes.
You want to keep going back there.
Yes.
You know, so you keep upping the bar.
Yeah.
So after how we do it, we did Make You Dance, which was a step up.
Yes.
For me, I think, in terms of musicality. And we went back there. We didn't win. It kind of sucked, but we still had the experience.
You win some, you lose some, you know?
Make You Dance should have actually
Sometimes
they're like, nah. Because the video was on point,
Yeah.
but the visual for Make You Dance and the whole sonics and the way that
we made sure we did everything possible
everything was on point,
to make sure we don't have that name of it was a collaboration. That's why she won.
Yes.
That's the idea. I wanted that to die out. That's why I went hard and Make You Dance.
You did. You really did. Let me ask you a question now that we're talking about continental, regional hip-hop and where we are. You have been to South Africa with one of the greatest MCs, Proverb. You get me? I was listening to Proverb's song recently called The Writers Club. And I'm like, this guy was out of this world with a pen, what the things he was writing about. Now let me ask you a question. An honest question as MCs. Sakodi, aka Nasty C, MT, what's called MT? MT. Gwe. There's so many, it's Damado Bling from
Angola, is it?
Then there's this other girl who was dating aka Ice Prince. Where are we on this African totem pole? Where do we lie? Are we closer to the top or under the ground?
We're the underdog. They know about us.
They know
We're the underdog.
I think you're right.
They know
about us, I'm telling you.
They don't know about us.
They do. They do.
They don't know.
They do.
They don't.
They know about us. Listen,
Okay,
they've
let
never
me-
met us. They might not know what we look like, but our names resonate. We're online. You understand? That's the first thing. So even if they were in the
Since you're the
even if
OG,
they were in
I'll
the
take
space,
it, but
listen, if they were in the
believe.
space and somebody mentioned Keko,
Yeah.
they have an idea. If not, they'll just Keko. Then they'll say, what? She's a Channel O winner. Channel O award winner.
Yeah.
Then they'll be like, when you ask them how many of them have won a Channel O award. And so
Yes.
So they know about us. It's not even it's not up for debate. It's just that we're the
They know
underdog.
Keko, they don't know
our
about
situation
us.
here.
When I
Our
was
situation holds
Nairobi-
us back in one way or another, but we're out there.
I think it's a country thing, you know.
I guess so.
I think the country, if the country had embraced hip hop the way they embraced all these other genres, we would be
Somewhere.
millionaires.
Yeah, exactly.
We would be billionaires.
Bruh, if Soda Gingerle was in New York, now they got the 50 Cent.
Burunji nyo, ne?
I think for them, like even the numbers, even
Yeah.
where they come from, the structures, everything, the system.
So it's not
it
about the
allows-
lyrics. It's not about the lyrics. It's
That's
not
not like
about-
that too good.
it's about the machine
about when you
behind them.
Exactly. It's about that
These
the
guys are
systems
signed
are
to
there.
levels.
No,
the
but me-
numbers, you know.
Me,
so,
I have a problem with why Ugandans are not there. Like our general Ugandan style of hip hop. Yalite ina identification somewhere. Twali tubulamu somewhere.
Possible.
That's how I mean.
Possible. No.
Reason is one.
Tuganye.
Listen, you got bongo hip hop. Bayinanga wanganjita ulia bongo flavor. Sako disi my style nga bali nengerola bane chinagana chabwe. Chinagana there is a way their brand of Chinagana style was flowing. Ngirinya sirimanyi bulungi nenga bayina
There
that.
was Genge for
Okay. Now read on me this.
Ne
Now,
one.
how about South Africa? Because South Africa, even when bongo existed, by the way, there was also a type of hip hop which was not bongo. Now, Yonga Jerry.
Eyabasugu motoji.
What the problem I have with people always relating success to, and by the way, I understand that identity is important.
Very.
Because it allows you to go so far.
Yeah.
This I got to senga national ID. Nti wano bwatu ina identity, we will not buy what you're selling. Because I can look at some of the most successful songs in Africa, and I couldn't tell where the person was rapping. Java, for example, Proverb on Writers Club, or there's another song called Heartbeat. It could have been another rapper from New York. It was just the lyrics that were penetrating through to me. Much as I loved also this other kid, Pro Kid as well, I found that I related more to Proverb and what he was saying, but I didn't care where exactly he was from because the beat was a New York beat. It could have been somewhere from New York, could have been from wherever.
Yeah.
So, and that was a successful song in Africa, played on channel, or some of us got it.
The thing is,
because
like
lyrical G and
Mugamba,
Proverb.
let me just try and help you understand something. All these artists, you get like from Nigeria, SA, Angola, Ghana, and wherever. These guys, there's a machine. You know, they have a label. A label. We had a discussion prior to the podcast. Me and producer Green, and he was talking about you know what, Empire, man. When you're dealing with Empire Records, you're not dealing with say a GMC Entertainment or a something. I don't want to break down other names. I'll just use GMC maybe. But look at Empire Records. If Empire Records signs you, remember also a scenario when Keko was signed by Sony. Do you realize that Keko was the biggest artist or the biggest export musically
From
Uganda?
Yeah, I believe.
You did. So if there's a machine, the machine will help you achieve certain things that you might not have right now. I may have so many lyrics in my head, so many bars.
Machine
and if I don't
for doing
have
what?
somebody that's going to put the machine I'm talking about a system, a label. Because if a label is going to invest,
but also to add on,
50,
like for
trust me,
Nigerians,
something is going to
like to
happen.
add on, you realize that whether even out of Nigeria, when I go in other countries, the biggest DJs are Nigerians. You know, the connection, and also the support, by the way, so that's why I realized, okay, even when there's an American company, they want to come to Africa, you hear, okay, Trace Nigeria, Trace, you understand? MTV Nigeria. You understand? Exactly, the market, the numbers, the what, so everything really.
So there's no Trace Uganda, it's just Trace East Africa.
And now, I know they come also say East Africa, they give them other one, even Trace East Africa, it's not like, which level are you in terms of even investment? It's like Spotify, for instance. Spotify, when they're trying to invest also, when they invest in Nigeria, the money they put in Nigeria is different from what they put if they come to East Africa. Say, there
are two things I'm picking from here for the people who are watching us from there. The question was, why haven't we advanced and managed to beat some of those records that were set before? And what we are citing is that there is no structure. The structure is to help the artist, basically what you're calling the machine.
And Ugandans also copy a lot.
The structure of marketing, the structure to market a brand, the structure to distribute, and the structure to also bring in money into an artist's brand, basically. Oh,
because money makes more money.
Yeah. Money makes more money.
Money makes more money.
For us, we say money beats Gonzaga. When money comes, things become soft.
Yeah.
Things become soft.
Money makes more money. If you don't have that, like the machine, like you said, that's behind you, that's paying for the music videos.
Yes.
That's paying for the singles, studio.
And I think also for those guys also still from home. They start from home. The numbers are big from home to elevate them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you gotta first become big at home, and then you launch out.
But those guys you're talking about were creative somehow.
Big home first, and then you launch out.
Shadi, those people you're telling me, those guys were a little bit creative somehow. Just like he has talked about Proverb, he read his lyrics and everything was on point, like he's an American almost. Yeah. If he had imagined Proverb, but he had copied some lyrics from some American, he would have realized it. So the creativity part of it also.
Uganda,
we are creative.
We are not on the
street. We are going to disagree. We are going to totally.
No worries, but you're creating, but not to the point like those boys.
Because I know this for a fact. Because I have been in South Africa, I've been in Kenya, I've been elsewhere, and I've compared lyrics of Ugandans with people who are out there, and I'm like, what am I really missing here? When I read these lyrics, they are trash. Compared to say how Ruyonga wrote, Ruyonga has an album, I think, which he lost it. I might not even have a copy himself. But I remember it from back in the day, I did a diagram or something like that. Yeah. And the album was so brilliant that I was comparing it with other artists from out there. And I was like, they can't even come a quarter. So I deny that there's no creativity here. That creativity is only pronounced because you see it over and over again on TV. So you memorize these songs and they become bigger. We are as creative. And I think part of let me not call it an inferiority complex, but I think part of us realizing there are times when I go to stage and I feel like I haven't done my best. Right? Yeah. And I walk off and I'm almost holding my head. I'm like, why did I not do this? Why did I not do that? But when I walk into a crowd of people backstage, everybody's like, man, you killed it. You get me? Yeah. So, Tibro, if someone out there began busting down your lyrics or saw your stage performance, you wouldn't believe where you rank or how much you'd rise in how much they respect your art and skill if it's packaged and thrown in front of a crowd. So it isn't that we are lacking in creativity.
Just underrating them.
No. You are.
Like, this is another scenario.
Yeah.
If I offered you a sum of money right now.
You are underrating yourself.
Tibro,
but your greatness is...
If I offered you a sum of money right now and I told you I have this amount of money, I want you to go and write something for me. I want you to go and do a 3-song EP. Or even one song, just one project, but here is this sum of money.
Somewhat.
Trust me, here is sum of money.
Are you imagining when the deal is coming?
If I did that, you said there is no creativity. Trust me, are you even going to go to Chigezi and first sit down there and then try to get
your best?
I go back to
you come back to that. You see, so how do you say there is no creativity?
No, those who have put out work. You've tried to compare them with
that's why I say
that's why
you've compared.
That's why we need more platforms
if you have a push
for kids out there to showcase their creativity.
What they have.
We have so many creativity, man, from out there, from the ghettos, from the slums, from out there.
And it doesn't have to come.
We have no platforms for them to showcase those creativity levels. But when we get more platforms like Yenze, you'll be surprised how much talent we have that day.
No, I didn't say we don't have talent. I didn't say we don't have talent. I just said our creativity is Linda Mkaton. Sakodi, let me just not put myself up.
Maybe I get a say.
Obwakabye ekyo sikimanyi.
Singo badene engine. Badene engine ekuteeka wali.
No, I believe.
Yanditidde naye n'agamba
ajayimirira wano okubeyo Chiga Flow.
Bring in a Sakodi song and then bring Syndicate Chigangster.
Is
The
it him, bro?
outfit is right. When you have like 100 Bachiga stomping the ground.
What's the game?
Or take out Sakodi.
zinalima isakodi yanko
Stomping the ground on the stage.
nalima isakodi yanko negwe mugwegwe
We need to bring this back in.
nzikirizamu akatono
We're
tono
speaking about now platforms. We're speaking about platforms. We're talking about excitement. We're talking about where we rank on this African platform. There's no doubt that there's 1,000% creativity in Uganda. It's just not packaged. It's just not put in the right places. And
packaging,
packaging. So now I'm going to ask you guys, because this is one of the most important things about packaging, right? Packaging is what attracts a buyer to buy your product. Coca-Cola has a very sexy bottle. Omo has an attractive color of blue. People like boil it down to a science of what colors are people attracted to, what's the material when they touch it. When you're buying an iPhone, even they can smell when you first open that Ogamba. This machine is going to be mine again, or even Samsung or whatever. For us as artists, seeing that most of you are going to be on the Yenze stage, right? I'm going to begin with you, Keko.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for a performance or a stage like that?
Actually, I just left my designer's place. My stylist, he's from the UK. He's called Ali Cool. He just finished my outfit. I went for a fitting before I went for an interview on radio. So I have to make sure I look good, you know, even in my different form now.
Yeah, like a queen.
Yeah,
you have to represent.
You have to represent. You have to look good because people are coming there to see stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to differentiate yourself from everybody else. So stage presence also matters. That's pretty much it. The rest is get my catalog together and make sure the DJ has the right music, and we leave the rest to God. For me, when there's good sound, I'm without a doubt going to entertain. Yeah. As long as the sound is good.
If you're looking good, that means you take care of your stylist. That means your aesthetics have to be on point.
Yeah, have to be on point.
Then you said go to kula.
Gatoli underground.
tomaita aba underground gye bali
Lwaki weefuula lumonde?
n'aba underground gye bali omanyi vitamini eziri mu lumonde.
No, but she's right. She's right with what she says. Man.
But me personally,
Let me ask you, how do you prepare for a performance? How do you psych yourself up?
to be honest with you, I like standing out. Like each time there is a stage, there is a platform for me. I like no. Njagala nnyo okusukuluma because when you give me a platform like that, like there's a stage for you, you're going to come and showcase. I'm always like, okay, we have more than 50 artists going to perform, yeah? How am I going to stand out? Yeah, how am I going to be recognized? Because me, I believe that each platform I get, I have new fans, new people who are going to recognize me. I take myself like, not everyone knows me, yeah. So waliwo mupia gwenjagala okukakasa nti man nange ndi wakabi impagira, yeah. I always want to prepare myself okubeera nti bagay bazatano nenda labigayo mwana chabadde chakabi. So I always prepare myself to an extent that there's no tomorrow. Lero lweruliwo nzize kukuba okitegeera, because at the end of the day tuliwo entertaining abantu, we are here to educate, we are here to inspire. So I always make sure that at least I have something different from what I did the previous day. You understand? Yes. So that's how I prepare myself, just to be better than the person I was last week or the person I was at the last event. So ningamba, okay, last event naloza nchikubye, but this event man, I think
level
from the stage presence to how to interacting with the crowd. I mean, to being visible, physically, emotionally, just lyrically.
Do you do rehearsals?
Of course, I do rehearsals, but it depends, because this time. Sigenda kuba live band so rehearsals nsobola nozukuba justing and tudawo amne muwala wange wali nafani
ngabonyenye follow man
so kane katuza wali nekagamba okay mpagira but of course you have to prepare waliwo obukodi obulala bwesagala gamba abantu bayinza okumpa muyinza okumpa
bayinza okuyisa obubikolo
waliwo bwenerekerayo konange but of course tubeera tulina kikola
kiba kiteekwa okugguka oh so oyagala kuleta Dr. wo ku stage
kitegeeza nti murehaso mbawo ne faani awo asooka okumpagira wamalamu amaanyi kankyuseemu kosa
okay that's nice going your instant feedback Tibro, how do you prepare for a stage ngogina performance? How do you psych yourself up? How do you get your swag together? Also, can ogenda keyo mugowira mountains eyo mu mist.
Jukira nzendi ngeri yetuli musiko zendi mpologoma ya musiko fe tuba twali ali adobo gabi naye kati jukira eno Yenze Hip Hop eno one of its kind yesose zine byokwetegekazi bya ndimi kwa nebuziza catalog nyine nyimba ngabi 3 hip hop mu Uganda ino concert so ndoza my first invitation omayi bano aba MC abalala balina events bazibera munenga bera biranti Uganda yaffefena kali bade batekezo events bade mpulira nga atenze mbaye eri mu sikonga ngolusi naka smartphone nenga sitegera chichi kigenda mu maso kati eno Yenze Hip Hop nasose kujiwa credit nengamba nga Rembo mu second blood we bamuja mu kirome ajja kuba amantu amasasa rescuinga America nange nabade mu farm zange kigezi yo nenfuna ka phone call kuva Big Platinum Entertainment big up so nengamba abusajja go chachukira ne number yake kati okubera ready cho zemba ever ready kubanga mavoko uli and I'm always on check now for the Yenze event ndoza namwe ba fans mwino kujja mu ndabe because I think you guys have never seen me mumpulira buulize so the redness is muje mu ndabe we meet and greet njaba bonga ko mu rukiga kuba nchimanyi mujja kutegeera kworo nze nzani by the way nali ndoza we bateeka Yenze Hip Hop ka practice kera kozera kakoze yesterday but one ngandoza bagamba nto bakigezi versus the whole what no I just thought nengomba maybe chene like yakambe bateke ningane awukwe kujukira John Rembo timurwa
oba bochagala
kigenda kukomekereza bwekityo kubanga entalo nzagala nga si physical omanyi entalo z'omuzindalo teziruma kale zizo okukwata emotion okukwatamu wali nga naline gyenkubye naye nga bwobanga oli MC waddala omanyi just tuli mu bigambo lutalo lwa bigambo sino si lwa Russia na Ukraine
noina kyolandizeekoko I think abalina sente tukiteekemu amaanyi
mugezeeko
Shadrach tunoonyeze sente whoever is listening twala tukoleyo kati hip hop nga twagala north versus east versus
awo mugeze muje mu west coast military tuba kati kyemugenda okukola mugenda kujja katugeze si byakuwangula and it be representing and building our culture
biba birimu okuwangula mbe nina okuwangula
and olunaku lubeera bwe luti the day Chiga Flow meets Luga Flow oyinza okubanga olowooza ompangule nga yetuyimbira matu naye nga bwe tubanga bwe tutyo nga tusobola okusinkananga even zigenda kubeerawo kuba aba MC waffe bangi everyone in Kigezi mwagambe twevuga buli omu akuba rap kati bano abayikuba ebidandali babuuza ekyalo kyange everyone in Kigezi now wanna sing ayagala mbu ayimbe nga radio ate nga ffe twatandikira mu rap yevugo Chiga Flow music so singa mugenda mukola nti Baboon Forest and the whole Lugogo fraternity.
I can see it now.
West side.
I can see it now.
Nemusanga King Chigati bro. Nemusanga Ejebe barapa jebali.
People from the east are going to be like, now you Elgon boys, you Tororo boys, you girls, we're going to link with the Pasoga. And we're going to beat all of them. And I think a Game of Thrones guy.
So, ngenda era bolabanga masaza uli atwali amasaza simayini wali regional ebyafu for something like that. Kali hip hop engeri gyatandise kali katonda atuyambe this year tulinayo yenze kali yakutunitinga kubanga waliwo ba MC bembalendo okulabanga Mr. Zamba, Mr. Baboon Gina mulabako naye not on an event namulaba ku studio wali studio yomugaga big up Mr. E waliyo ina ka project kompise ko ne mugwa
Mr. Ibadi manyi notes and noise.
Yes, Mr. Emma manager Emma notes and noise and is mbigata byona ne bigwera ku Mr. E Ninja.
Mr. E okay.
Ninja yati kadine jukira zembale tambula ngandi bwendi ngabantu bageza ku supporting a West nenga ndi solo. We bageza ko Raw Records try to push me nenga ndi nzeka. Bagaga bange banja bageza ko bambi I will not mention kwa bulango te mwabo percent. Neither he pushed ngandize kati at the end of kaninganate lokugwa ubanga anate lobivamu karate kumenali inspiring the whole region.
Yes, so we know 256 Semanya Himbi King Jebali,
yes, Bunny Trouble, Curious.
And Bunny Trouble we one more.
Tuinayo bana bali Kasese abana banika bakwati waliwo a whole line of rappers in Kasese buli akubanga rap
atete mujja tutisatisa nyabe Kasese
Chiro Chineyu Chiro Chineyu the days
ejogo tutisatisa jomujja
tugenda kubasinkana encha yenze hip hop okose encha at the definition of Ugandan hip hop njagalo George Labe kwanze na features
yes Tojja tutisa bro.
Enja kuyenze hip hop. Andi no ruchiga kushakusha. Tiko nabagambi. Njagala kwogeza abaganda uruchiga. Murateka kugamba uruchiga. Yenza kale nabagamba murachimara.
Chiga tulimba.
Okulimba ate katolimo. Olulimi. The language. Amayiro olulimi lwa Kigezi southwestern Uganda. Uwara.
Ekikolo bebera nno omusajja tunyumya ngabo Oluganda. Even though I'm taking long without saying it, it's like tubera ngaba zeko buzi. But I was asking you, how do you prepare yourself for the stage? Okuba muko ku push ups ngokubisa two fingers amagulu gali waggulu.
Tubikola ku daily nawe kati ino shongambi muyo so singa wade wali enda legendo okuddako next weekend. Practicing on my head eno jachi kuba bati irinji kwe wali. Na era chiga flow t-shirt yazi jakuba zizimu chiga flow Uganda. Koze ranja kwesala ka Baboon Forest ka kofira wan. Awajechoka chiga chuka. Mitwalo munana bakongeza.
Mitwalo munana joka.
Za bagambe nyaka mekanga simula bano.
Era brand ambassador wa
representing wale chapa ku continent.
Tugenda chogerako sebo because we would love to have a representative from the West.
By the way, nanchali mukamere. Waliwo bafani banga bamanyi ndi Zamba tuli ba friends nyo tuli baganda nyo.
Yes.
Answers mbasi zinakubanga ona bataliyo. Kati bangambe kubuza. Mbo chetagisa kyo muntu okujoininga Baboon Fresh Entertainment.
Echibira.
Ochajuja kubanyonyera nenge chichibuzo chimwe.
Actually,
your question. Nandi bade nokujoininga ngani simayimwe bajoininga kati.
Your question. Echibira techibeera na gundi. Echibira techibeera na luji.
Registration.
Echibira techina luji. But here is the thing. Actually, we are in the works of something because that's the question. Jemba dengampulira mo inbox yange when I find people on the street. Ne muchikubo jo. Babade omusajja nga atembe ya bintu bye nangamba ne mwana nze negomba dokuyingira ki Baboon Forest. So we are planning something special coming next year for all the people who would like to be in Baboon Forest because it's not factual chazimba structures ezitambuza omuyimbe okola ki okugenda maaso and still because this is not a thing nti cha Baboon kyokka. What we are trying to build is for community basically and we're looking out for allies, people that we can work with abategera abali passionate about this culture moving forward. So say that yanja baita Shadrack atabera advisor wafate kubanga ya abitusingako
yali hip hop at canvas.
Yeah.
Nali wendira na imba kubaka balance kuru. Tukave twali alikadoko imbira set. Shadrack yampita lezi ja kwesho.
Yeah.
Somebody to come on what way cassette and hip hop leo. 2005. Hip hop bakuwa kusente.
So many people have never like really seen money out of hip hop. Yeah, banji tabazirabangako.
Nange Shadraka yampita Hip Hop Canvas 2010 by the way. Nali nkyasoma naye twalise tukulaga.
Bali below the age.
Otwagira competing. Actually yasoka. Na soka mu ya 2009.
2009 yes.
Nali mu S5. Kadi mu ya 2010 nali mikaga. Naye tujja twalite tumanyi nti nebintu bya rap biba mu kasente. Because ekigendera kyo nakyalinga kyakukakasa. Banayenze nali njagala okukakasa. Okukakasa nti no ndi nkuba. Naye Sebo Shadraka Hip Hop Canvas Platinum ngetuwaka transport side here. Side here.
Nakimbako mu Dia Hip Hop nengamba Uganda wange. Baboon Force let's go for platinum checks.
Fedwali tulina ebyaddala twali tulina of course obulala gye tugenzeeko naye nga omusajja asobola okugamba man it's for the love tekikukola bo bikutambula okuva mu kibuga paka wano nga batulagadda nti okutambula it's part of the culture naye
ate nga batuufu nno
nga batuufu
is exercising
naye kyenkulaga nti Platinum, you yatulaga nti need send here for your transport. So ebintu ngebi bya to motivating at some point, yeah. Netulugamba okay, at least direction to Jidaba. So shout out to Tibro raising anti Moana at some point omuntu yasasuluwako through hip hop. Chat driving anyo yali anti nebwemba si wangudde nebwemba si isemu yeah but at least naze motivation ene yamanyi nnyo
ngasinaba kumalayo gundi it's really question Joe raisings which you guys we have stumbled upon something before but njaga kumalayo cha performance kino tugenda kudda kwecho kati echo kakasa above the money next discussion ya hip hop waliwo nye gundi they require you prepare for performance.
I mean like I was told like a month ago I think it's been a month now.
Yes, it's like a month. Yeah.
So I knew the first thing was to prepare what songs because I have 11 albums.
Yeah.
So there's so many songs. I had to sort of juke it up with, especially the old ones, apart from the ones that the fans actually were related to more than the usual. So I was like, okay, let me select the songs. And then you tell me. Then after when I'm done with that, I start arranging. Okay, I'm going to do a stage. You still have to get up stage. Like, I can talk to you before I get the mic, or when I get the mic before I start rapping. I can talk, or maybe even after. But I don't talk in between the set. So I normally like to do one whole thing.
Toyagala kwogera. That's funny. That's njagala okulokopya.
I don't speak. During that time. Yes.
I've never figured it out in Toyogeda.
I don't speak. I just Babangambo in 10 minutes. Then I call her 10 songs in 10 minutes.
I've never noticed it nakwe kati nchitegede.
I don't atakwata osobola okukwata mungu ogire so ate dobozi nolivaayo nokugenda kuwulira beat togenda kuwulira luyimba kuwulira beat ne backup.
Yes. How do we compare as rappers if you put us on stage with raga artists? Where do you rank our performance? Nti okay, soul R&B, nti diva nava vudeko kudako rapper, obanti Coco Finger, Godako. How do you rate my rappers? No, where do we compare as rappers?
Because it's similar to us.
Because the Nakus in Onkola Nabo by the new one with Viper ranking, you have like Nebo tula na obagamba chikulu mwe bagayi muri creative nnyo Then in your head you are like, madam music wakubera creative. So, olaba abagaya abo abasinga abo ragamuffin abasinga alina okukozesa okubuukabuuka dani okukuba oba okitegeera dani okufulumya
babuzaabuliza
alina okugjamuko ku saati n'anyinya like Bo, they go an extra mile to entertain. So, barapa abamu kati bakuwuliriza. By the way, nzija kushow ino kumpa amatu. Ino kumpuliriza. Ino kumpuliriza more than just kunyenyonguliriza. So, unless nga nina track jentadde nenga kati njagala wenyenyemu. So, it's a bit different. So usually nze events zengendako nga ragamuffin yasookako. Sometimes agamba man ndilaki nzakusoseyo. There is have that fear that man ndilaki nzakusoseyo because I'm a guy mwe mwana ogenda kwata audience ekuwulirize like baina nyo fear.
Yes.
It's
surprising
not in a bad way but hip hop artists baina kutia na bagaya because that we basingo tutia ekintu kyogamba bwojjana excuse it ekikulu mwe bagay muri creative nyo so management music tulina
creative yes
wordplay gambo
yes.
So
the words
instead of olabyeko kabakonga performing kabakoizo utamuulira bulungi lyrics ze
komanda oyo chikiriko komanda
yo kitegeera
I love all sorts of energies zonti nze bwe mbeera performing waliwo songs zange nga zakubeera rowdy then waliwo songs zange nga just njagala okay owulirize but the ones that bwe bakka ne bawuliriza you find that that's where I connect most with the audience like yes that I control the room and there's a beauty which rappers have as people that can control the room. Check it, it's a beauty of us being MCs that
it's like
you're controlling the room and feeding off people's emotions. There's that dollar. But I'm like having a conversation with you to Nyumia.
Yeah.
Like a song like Aluo. I don't expect you to jump.
I was about to say that every time I perform that song,
you have people want
everyone is quiet. But then after I perform it, they're like,
There's something about the song itself, whereby what you're talking about.
You're emotional.
You connect.
And the time to last longer. But now they don't get on the shelf. The song is more of a party song and what. Eventually over time, it gets off, But that music is deep with what, it stays here.
Zina bagamba zino songs empya zina lifespan y'ekinyampo in a storm. Like it's a fart in a storm. Yeah. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Zambaland podcast, Baboon Forest podcast. This is the Yenze special, basically. And I'm glad to have Shadrach Nasa Kutesa Sira. And then we are blessed to have Mr. Chintu, the Chintu himself, the Chintu, LG. Mr. Geoffrey Chintu is in the building. I'm using his government name, Lyrical G, Geoffrey Chintu. Hey, I'm having T-Bro.
Nyomara nketa Joram Mujungu.
Mujungu, you only white? Joram Mujungu. Tabaro.
Then alona kaliya ka nickname kaliya ka Ashwent Rasta Kashagama.
Rasta Kashagama, Mr. Tabaro. That's the name. And then we are having Mr. Saint Nelly said, Seva Gagage Chikalanya.
Nsubuga.
Mr. Nsubuga.
Sidia Mamba
Amazonywa.
Yeah, man.
Mamba chi ya Gabunga.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're having Tracy, Jocelyn.
Keiko.
So we are back. We're discussing about how people prepare for shows. We're talking about the MCs, what our challenges are, where we rank in Africa, what we have failed to do, what we are about to do, and what we are going to do. So right now we are back talking about Yenze, which is happening Saturday at the Cricket Oval. What are you looking forward to? Gwenga Shade, one of the organizers.
First of all, I'm looking at first of all the representation of the culture in its fullness. That's very important, you know. I look towards the performance. I believe now this is also for the first time where also because I know coming from the side I know even know there's this guy called Entiko, so we're gonna have also the Christian rappers represented there.
Yes.
You know, so I'm really excited to see in terms of delivery.
Never Christian rappers also kuba battle.
Yeah, they do. But it depends on battling. You know what you mean by battle. But in terms of freestyling, definitely they do.
Yes.
Yeah, freestyling definitely they do. They're really But
Yeah,
really,
Bakuba.
Bakuba.
Then performance in Christian community.
Yeah, Bakuba. Yeah.
A guy
underground. Yeah. So I'm looking. First of all, I'm just really. In terms of audience, I'm looking at like I know it's gonna be you're gonna have the corporate guys because I know when hip hop was growing, the guys who are used to be on campus when are doing it, and now guys are corporate. You understand? So I'm looking forward to come see now those corporate guys, then the guys who have an audience from about ones, but one see they've connected. You know.
Yes.
So I'm gonna see this. There's gonna be like for the first time to see a wide kind of. Audience. You know, I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
In terms of performances, of course, like that people have never seen perform even before.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing that, and that those who haven't seen performing in a long
Is
time.
Ninja C performing?
Yeah.
Ninja C, is she performing?
No, she's not performing. She's not performing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I also looked at the poster because usually people look at the poster and then they look at what's below.
Yeah.
I didn't see any other sponsors, Abataliba Media.
Yeah.
So how are you guys doing this?
Yeah, of course that's been the hardest thing, of course, like really to even cover the course and stuff like that. Of course, other people it's coming from Munsao. So, but again, it's a new people companies bala concepting about it for a while and they say it works and they jump on it. They never try to jump on new concepts.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but I believe it's the good things to start. Usually, if you want to start, you start. See what you can improve on next time, and then again, what can you do better? But I mean, for me, the fact that it's Cricket Oval, Cricket Oval, I'm really excited about that. And I think also for me, it's not because we're at Baboon, yeah. There's one particular performance I'm looking towards because there was Baboon when they used to do like, are you guys doing Sese? Because for me, by the way, I would look forward to that performance because I know Tracy did his thing and then went on his own thing, or Munji went on, did his own thing, But
there's a very funny clip we have when you guys were in radio. The big trailer, we're not hearing the sound.
Okay.
You check it out, Calico TikTok.
Oh, really?
So we'll see Yenza if we are doing Sesetula or not doing Sesetula, but everybody was on Sesetula.
It would be nice.
But I have a question for Shadra.
But also before I go there, but also the representation, because I know there's Judas from North, representing. Then you have, from West. Then you have from Masaka, Max Main is coming through. Then you have Big Ben, is coming through. So all that representation, I think, also is a beautiful thing.
Regional balance.
Yeah, regional balance. Yeah.
My question is, since this is hip hop, should we expect some other elements? Yeah. Just like the way you can see big girls or big boys on stage, or someone spraying or painting things to do with graffiti. Like, is it like should we expect something like that?
Definitely.
Imagine all the elements.
Definitely. Because that's the idea. That's why it's called the culture festival. Festival, because all elements are represented. But again, as you said, because of issues of not having sponsors and budgets, once you those who can come. The way they can come, because also each element also costs, quite money to be represented, So the idea would be now, maybe if you are highlighting emceeing this time, and maybe moving forward, is you could pick a certain element that every edition you try to highlight one element more than the other. You understand? To make it stand out. So all others are represented, but then highlight ones, because you can highlight all of them. Maybe BB being highlighted, then fashion highlighted. But you have fashion, you have graffiti, you'll have b-boying. Yeah. It's going to be
tributes. America feel now struggle to make hip hop to reach Yenze. All over him say about to make Yenze.
Yeah.
About feel Vietnam.
YouTube to
Lumix, Molekwa, Rokim was also part of the Abenganda clan. I don't know who are we missing.
Who's a small guy?
Well, he was a Chiga Shepherd.
Crazy guy. He passed on. Yakulanga knew the water thing when they had the water activations.
No, they did.
What's his name?
Papa?
Something.
Not Papa.
No,
Not Papa, sorry. No.
Something.
Papa is alive.
Papa is
C
in,
major.
C major.
C major.
Yeah. There's a lot of MCs
The
that
joke is
have,
that's
not
major.
lived
Nah.
to see
And
this,
also, by the way, this is also another perfect opportunity for us to remember a very good friend of mine, an editor who's called Imperial.
Yeah.
Imperial passed away.
Yeah.
This would be a very good time for us to celebrate anyone who has passed on. Because this hip hop thing is all of us indoors. So it would be very nice to like have everybody
that
there.
was part of that's part of the event as well. You have a segment.
We're planning to do that.
Yeah.
It'll be very nice.
N'aba natera okufana bomba celebrate.
Totukanga toyogera bwoti. Knock on wood. Where is the wood? Sijja kino bannange.
Waliwo omusajja
Knock on wood.
yakuba ejjinja mu njuki.
Ani akuba ejjinja mu njuki?
Sinabadde omanye nakagula essimu ya TikTok. Nabadde nendaba mu rap.
Ogenda mutta.
Nakuba ejjinja mu njuki nengamba olwo naye tagenda kugenda mu betugenda okukola tribute. Kale sigenda kumentioninga
When they were making threats, you can think the world is about to end.
oli mukulu wa lugafuro namugasedda mu bengenda okutirimbula tomorrow but one. Sigenda kumentioninga linnya lye naye yakubye ejjinja mu njuki.
Yes.
Era tugenda mu tribute.
Wajja kuzalayo?
Nze nzalayika. Waliwo enjuki.
Agambye tayagala ku.
Ojjukira kila bizza utanga. Ezagenda kati omuliisa. Yes.
Ate singa ba DJ banaabeereyo nga tubeere ne ba DJ nga nabo ba OG.
Yes.
Nga so kurealizinga nti kati Tibro ndi mu moment of.
I think Cream is
Who
going
are
to be
hip hop's
there.
top 5 DJs? Before we go away, let's mention
DJ
that because
Cream.
that's another element. Nti nokumakinga show nga yenza okubeera possible.
And DJing is one of the
top
elements anyway
5
of
hip hop DJs that we have in Uganda?
Nze nina omusajja bamuyita DJ Sting.
DJ Cream, DJ Sting,
Official DJ end of the week.
DJ Sting.
Nange DJ Bitiyo, Spedi.
We have DJ Cream.
DJ Cream. No, Cream, Sting. I would say Mr. DJ.
Yeah, Mr.
Mr. DJ, yeah.
Guys, you're failing to fill 2 slots.
Mr. DJ from
Which other DJs bumanya bakuba hip hop?
Mr. DJ, formerly of...
Oyo twamogedde is number 3, so mu butwe amanya amalala. You see how you struggle to find hip hop DJs in Uganda?
No, but this is
It Massey, DJ Massey. How about DJ Massey?
DJ Massey.
Ate DJ
Nelly Sting.
Nelly Sting.
Nelly Sting, yeah.
Ate yakola ku Radio City.
That's Slaughter Ellie.
Slaughter
DJ
Ellie.
Slaughter Ellie. Yeah, hip hop DJ. Yeah.
DJ Sissy.
The pure hip hop DJ.
Okay, you made 5. People had 5 DJs. Okay.
DJ Ali yatukubiranga nnyo mu Sabrina's.
Ali Breezy.
DJ Ali Breezy.
Nekyandibadde kirungi ku lunaku olwo ba DJ nga bakuba hip hop music. Ne bwataba wa Uganda. Ne waba international.
Era kyebagenda okukola.
Ne DJ we yakuba bulungi, DJ Bonky yakuba bulungi.
Bonky DJ ne Sting. Abo bo bali pure the hip hop DJ.
So is there a hip hop set mu Yenze that you guys have prepared for us?
Hip hop set?
I mean a DJ set.
Yeah, there is.
There was banga 10 minutes nayo line.
Yes.
Now Banco is just
Ngakuba bina Uganda.
Faba hip hop twagala nnyo ebintu that we can have an MC but also enjoy a DJ.
DJ Bush Baby yatuyamba.
Oh man, this DJ Bush Baby. DJ Bush Baby.
DJ Bush Baby man.
oyetagayo tribute.
Waliwo guy gwenjagala muwulire bamuyita DJ Street. I interacted with him. Abayenze babadde bakola promotion. Then I was invited to Chadondo. And he's the guy who hosted me there, but he's a don in Chadondo. So DJ Street, yachikubye. Because I just came through Ngangude Obugwi. It was not announced, but you said bus storm. So I first crowd begins gathering. Before we know it, like the whole of Chadondo's tent was like singing along to my shit. And I don't think I've done that yet, or performing it like for crowd. So to having a DJ set here, Fengaweri, I don't know if you guys can prepare for it. Is there a fashion tent? Pozo gambe buli element emalako sente.
Latif
eno yesoka by the way. Olaba ebintu ebyo bitagenda nga bwe twandibisuubidde. But next time tubeera tumanyi oba ba organizers baba manyi lwaki twakola kino tukyuse.
Latif 3-minute testing olugoye lwawe ndenda lwa hip hop.
Latif Madoi.
Ate naye wa hip hop lwakuba
Nyo.
gwe Latif hip hop
Latif Kasozi. By the way, the elements of hip hop. Senson. The elements of hip hop and the people that we have to celebrate. This journey, people say Yenze, I think where we're going to be celebrating all of these people, all of these moments. I've forgotten my train of thought because something is I've forgotten. I've remembered now. All of these people that we have mentioned and all those elements, more opportunities where people can eat. Naye, I've also observed, now coming back to the topic you tried to talk about before we broke off, that barapa twagala nnyo kukakasa, and we forget the business. Oyogedde nnyo kukakasa, that okukakasa tukakasiza ddala. Naye okukakasa n'otuuka 45, ng'okyakakasa bakyali. How do we change that narrative? Because sente tuzeetaaga, and we need sustainability. How do we begin building sustainable brands? Who takes this question first?
Mu transition y'okukakasa ffe gye twali tulowooza wewe twasangira ate zi platinum zonga zirimuko that other element of growth negamba tutambulidde
facilitation.
But you see things like such platforms ziriko kye bayita networking. Tusobola okujja nga tulaba bulabi barapo bachi, but of course wabao contact gye wayagala edda okujja ku keko. So contact eyo bw'ogikozesa obulungi esobola okupushinga somewhere. Abantu abamu abasinga baffe tetulya direct from hip hop nti performinga buli kaseera okola buli kaseera, but hip hop ayina platforms ze yatuconnectingako ate eziagazi obwongo bwaffe business wise netuba nga tusobola oku-earninga from it. So taking use
kulaba okola akalango k'ettaka ka real estate.
So netufuna connections ezo.
They have like a whole estate. The estate hired him
it's
to do an
company. So oyinza olaba nga singa teyali hip hop nandibadde sobola connectinga n'abantu bwe batyo kati nina n'ata n'abazimba aba construction nabo banfunye on board. So things like there's tuziyita endorsement deals. So osobola obutazifuna directly nti noli akusanze ku stage, but through the connections, and actually those are some of the people I always invite on such events. Na inviting zera Shadrack bugamba nti I need a plus. Just a blessed band. Beba na abantu abasobola okuinvestinga mu hip hop in the long run. Just nti abantu tulina okujja mu kino ekintu ky'okutunyooma nti abo customer such a platform customer 5 million yobo maze. Tulina okulowooleza nnyo mu 50 plus.
50 plus,
agamba okay a platform si yakuzanyirako. So think okuddayo ku kibuuzo kyo, we should think about things like endorsement deals, things like making use of our connections,
networks.
Networking. So obutalowooleza wano just ku mmere ya leero, because at the end of the day tuzadde kati tukuze tulina abaana abamu batibro balina n'abazzukulu. So at the end of the day tulina okusurvivinga, not just okutunulira akaja, not just okutunulira akasente ke bagenda okuwa,
but look beyond
just beyond. Osobola otunula n'ogamba okay Yenze Hip Hop Festival osobola okukozesa footage waayo oku-applyinga for Brooklyn International Hip Hop Festival.
Absolutely.
Nozo kitegeera nti gwe toze just kukyakalambo kyaka nezo okwedocumentinga in a way that kati ngenda tomera zi hip hop camp waliwo festival mje naliko bagita hip hop camp eri Prague mu Czech Republic.
KEMP.
Siraba nko kintu bwe kityo. Okitegeera nti so zino tusobola zikozesanga mileage oku-applyinga for bigger platforms. No ganti anze mwana azze ne team yagenda ku document.
Olaba kati keko not keko Okay, sorry. Tibro, abadde wane nayogera agamba yagala kuzimba museum ya hip hop ya Chiga Flow. Where in Buchiga. So yeah, abadde ngamba gwe Zambo ina majampa 20,000. Nenga 20,000 nange sizina just to take in something like that. But immediately my mind went to waliwo grants za UNESCO. Like you could write a grant nga ya just culture.
Yes.
And that money actually just sits there. So it's a matter of just like organizing yourself.
Yes.
Ku platform ezo kusanga grant kuyenzo izo kusanga yo mutunga proposal writer. Izo kusanga yo mutunga Shadrach.
Osobola no sanga yo wa construction gabo ngami ne bagamba tugenda bawa percentage bwetu.
Yes.
So just kugaziya muko bungo oyinza no laba UNESCO ne gamba 20,000 busente
butono, let's make it 100,000.
Let's make it 100.
Enga ya Chiga Flow.
Yeah.
Kubanga banange naffe tulina ekyo kyonna ekyebbe.
Yeah.
Ekyebbe kye tulina kyokka Lukiga. Nakunda baba TV. Naye kyensaba singa tukola museum. Buli acontribute to Chiga Flow music.
So by the way,
nature
talking of Chiga Flow, tulina okugaziya nnyo obuwangwa bwaffe at some point nti bwe tubeera twetunda tetulowoleza nnyo just Uganda yokka okitegeera
out there
nze just waliwo entulamuko ne ngamba I wish I could speak Swahili, I wish I could rap fluent
like
in English, I wish I okitegeera because naliko Tanzania 2 months ago naye like culture yabwe ngeri gye nagisangamu like but ate bo batya nnyo like ensendala nti Uganda mwana batugamba you guys. So I was talking
Bush
to
Baby Abireta. By the time we went to Tanzania, Bush Baby and Sebo have done a great job of representing Uganda in Tanzania.
Yes.
That everywhere you touch, you're kind of like respected, and they respect the crowd.
Like,
because they played a lot of Ugandan music and like really elevated artistry. Yeah.
Naliyo nga bagayi bagamba hip hop yasigala wamwe akyaliyo fe wano Diamond bakyankalanyiza ekintu ngamba wano bagayi bali mukuti yaffe
nenga tubalina bajinako balina that movement ya nako tunako bichi. Yeah.
So tulina okujjamu akantu ak'obutenyooma tugambe we can shoot.
Yes.
We can shoot here, we can represent here, we can nabadde njogera ne tulina chapter empya Cameroon, end of the week Cameroon. So immediately bagayi bwe bafunye chapter batandikiddewo ku researchinga ku Uganda gamba hip hop in Uganda. So mubeera muwogera naye bagayi bababuuza artists, we are seeing this guy, we are seeing so and so performed at the world finals. Like bakoze the research ku bakeko. Nengamba wow, like bagayi bagala nnyo okumanya, but here people don't want to go an extra mile to research, to go to dig deep. Who is this guy? Who are some of the grandfathers of hip hop? Who are like ekintu ekikoleddwa temulina kyogerera. Like sawa zino GNL gundi lyrical G tetulina kubanga tumuwogerera, talina kubanga yeeyogerera. Sawa zino wandibaddewo ne ku butabo nga tulinawo kakatabo nga GNL lyrical G sawa zino albums zaalina. Albums zaalina. Ozinyonyola omuntu n'awakana.
Ladies and gentlemen,
11? How?
My brothers and sisters. But tunayogera ku hip hop tetujja koma ku macha. Naye nze nange nfunye bingi nnyo ebyokuyiga what I picked out from this beautiful conversation is that buli awali element waliwo sente zaffe. Buli awali networking. That's where every artist should be, because it's not necessarily just the money. The money is important, but the money comes out of the relationships you build through the networking. So it's platforms engaged on the end of the week, Yenze, the big global summit, Zaniani, always go and attend where we're an opportunity. Me too, I have a testimony that I never began making it until I began meeting people who found me funny and interesting while I've been off stage. Sometimes I would even not start conversations with people, but people would start conversations with me and let me know they're having an office party and they're having 500,000. Then put your 500,000 nengamba. I've never even been paid 50. So it's conversations like that with Tambulida. I'm happy to have all of you here. On the podcast, looking forward to seeing all of you on stage.
And we're happy to have a lady.
We're happy to have Lady Keiko, the Queen herself.
The Queen herself. Yeah. That means the limune gender gender balance. Yeah.
Abajja gamba.
Bayinza gaba abasajja bokka be bazze okuba.
Mulimu sausage mmeka nga tunaba kutuuka ku gundi. Queen.
Are women well represented at this
women
event?
well, yes.
Yeah, I think there should be more female MCs, to be honest with you. But again, also, the idea is, since it's an annual thing, because imagine you get everyone on this one. You bring everyone again on next year.
Yes.
I think also there's a thing to say, okay, who's the headlining maybe this time? Now I don't know headline. You have these ones. So and I know it's not possible to have everyone, but again, if you want continuity, then have some of these ones.
Okay, I see your strategy. I see your guys' strategy now. Kale, Banangi, thank you so much for coming through. Any final words before we close? Akatalekeka?
See you on Saturday.
See you on Saturday.
Come through in big numbers.
Come through in big numbers. That's lyrical G.
Twegatte.
Twegatte. Kwegatta gemanyi.
Ekyo tekisoboka. Hip hop tesobola kwegatta. Nawe kimanyi kuva dda back in the day. Oli ajja kuli ennugu ku line z'okubye.
Okwegatta nga kulina meanings nyingi.
Ojja kukinyonyola olulala. Akatalekeka.
What happened to Aggie, by the way?
She's in Canada.
She left.
Akatalekeka Canada tugenda tukayo. Akatalekeka Baboon Forest Entertainment. Tubabanjayo mitwali ebiri ejja $, ffe ng'abakiga Flow Music Uganda. So ndi mu kamera.
Ku museum?
Ku museum kubanga already wateekako contribution edda back in the day wayise emyaka nga 20. Kale nsuubira
abiri gaweze.
Olimba twalakola mwaka sibiri musanvu.
Which song?
Be a man.
Tena was at 27. Elimu 15 years.
Nga mu 20.
Olaba nti weerabiddemu kale ize. Era museum kati Kigezi.
What year was it?
Yeah?
What year was it?
No, I think around 2011.
2011.
Kati Kigezi mwe mubeere strong, be strong. Olukiga we are still representing. Not to the top. Itwe tuli ekitaagi ky'omwanya. Just awo mu bbanga. Abali waggulu ddala mubawe ku kitiibwa. Kyekimu.
Yes, man. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it.
Okay,
That's it.
Yenze Hip Hop Festival.
Yep.
See all of you there. This has been a special edition. Thank you to all of our guests. The artists not managed to be here. The artists that have not managed to be here. It's going to be a beautiful celebration of hip hop music. As Baboon Forest Entertainment, I believe we have made our contribution as a media house. I believe we have done our part generating a content. Yesterday, I've never been to Chikubo, full disclosure. But for hip hop, not to say Chikubo wansi. And it's such a beautiful thing. You'll not believe how much love we have down there.
I saw the video.
Yeah. You don't believe how much love we have
It's
down there.
amazing.
I've seen Nako Chikubo. Nayenga.
No plan the rap.
Here's the thing. But the taxi park, but the new taxi park, old taxi park, Chiseka market, but I've never gone through that corridor, which is funny. Chibuko solo chibera mwe nga omanye Chimumba asa omanyi wa omanyi wanene makerere nayenga I will go that particular place I've never been through. But the love for hip hop was there.
I saw the video.
Eranga abantu bagamba echebiri kyange nchina waliwo ne yagamba talina chebiri mugamba yiyi okola chi mu Kikubo nga tolina mitwalo ebiri jijja kulaba shona but I understand people's struggles. The love is there. We're expecting to see numbers. We're expecting to see everybody there. Wakabi. This is for hip hop, for the love of the culture. Let's make it happen. Thank you guys for coming through.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure.
Yeah, man.
Pleasure.